Might have to end the stream early.
Is crawling with wretched life forms, and they've
Oh, yeah, no.
the sun's your friend.
Blockade is pretty much Uther. You're right.
He's wretched, burned,
Not necessarily
shriveled.
visibly, except that they're both.
You can manage to keep our base secured through
Wait.
the night.
No, you're right,
You still
actually.
have the next sunset to purge the wretched hives. Hope you're ready. The Abyss is sending out celestial air forces during daylight hours.
Robot engaged.
I haven't played this one left. Yet.
Ready and willing.
But I was like, oh, he doesn't look that much like Uther. You know, he's a black guy. He's a black old guy. But Uther's also old, just white. And then he has a hammer. And he has pauldron. He has shoulder armor. And he has the same cape, which is divided in half. Doesn't Uther have the same cape?
Left, right, left.
Okay. And then also in the mission, in the story, he is the guy that
Left, right, left.
he is a, oh my
I'm
god.
here to assist.
You're right. It's exactly Uther. Jesus. He's even the guy in the story that is like, hey, you're going down the wrong path.
Left, right, left.
Listen to your older mentor.
The first night is upon us.
And what's her face is like, yeah. My name is Arthas. I mean Amarella or whatever the name is. I don't remember.
Insufficient supply.
Oh my god, their names even start with the same letter.
Construction complete.
No.
You want me to do what?
No, that's maybe a little too close. That's maybe a little too similar.
Left, right, left. Shoving off. Shoving off.
In its own
Shoving
detriment because the comparison isn't
Left,
kind.
right, left.
Yeah.
Left, right, left.
Ready to work.
What are you gonna do?
Transiting now. How can I help? Okay.
Allies are under attack.
Left, right, left. Fighting the good fight. This is our land. Shoving off.
So I have Revitalize, Heroic Leap, and Hammer Time. Woohoo! I can't wait till I'm the elder in, you know, whatever circle I'm a part of with my nephew or whatever. And I can't wait to be out of touch.
Shoving off.
I can't wait to be the grandma that buys you the Nintendo.
Construction complete.
I'm like, I heard you want the Nintendo. This is it, right? And then for my nephew to
Contested.
kind of grimace initially, but then
Allies
put
are
on a
under
brave
attack.
face and be like, yeah,
Capture point
Grandma,
secured.
thanks. Be careful what you wish for.
Forces are under
Well,
attack.
I feel like I'm pretty safe because I'm certainly not anywhere close to being a grandma. I can tell you that much.
Capture point contested. Our forces are under attack.
Ready and willing.
I mean, we're out of touch, but I think we still we don't get the slang, okay? All right, it started with YOLO. Not something that we really wanted to use,
Allies
but
are under
we
attack.
understood where it could be used in context. We used it sarcastically initially, and then it became, part of our verbiage as
Capture
well.
point secured.
But now, by the time we kind of understand and use it, it's
Capture
already
point
it's already an
contested.
old slang for the Zoomers. So we got to learn this new slang that I don't know how to
Allies
use,
are under attack.
and I refuse to use until I use it ironically, and then I start using it seriously, and I'm like, God damn it.
Our forces
But
are
as far
under
as
attack.
technology goes, I mean, we are actually the millennials are the smartest generation for technology outside of mobile phones. A Zoomer will do anything on a mobile phone about as quick as you can expect, but
Allies are under
ask them to
attack.
find a fucking file explorer on Windows, and they're like, "Blah."
Shoving off.
Younger family member clothing with Rizzlord on it. Yes, that's the slang. That's the grandma.
Capture point contested.
That's what I'm gonna do. And be like, I hear that there's this new slang term.
Capture point secured.
No cap.
Our forces are under attack.
Your directive.
I got you.
What it was like to grow up in 1900s, and I thought I was gonna die. Oh my god. No.
Capture point secured. Capture point contested.
God, 1900s. You know, you never think of the later half
Capture point
or the
secured.
last decade of the 1900s when you put it that way.
Under attack.
Sun's rising. We made it another night. Time to get after those enemy hives and purge.
Waiting for people to not be able to use PC without Chat GPT. Your boss is already like that.
Attack.
Oh my god, Mike, you need a promotion. Normal seems to be the type of mindless co-op fun you might expect.
What are you waiting for?
But
To that decommissioned
co-op is
munitions
way
factory
more
and rescue
difficult
the bomb.
than StarCraft or
Be able
beta.
to recover some weapons specifically crafted to thrive in this crater.
Even if you're a good RTS player, I actually suggest starting on normal. Hard was hard.
Fighting the good fight.
And I say it's fuckers. So, you know, my nephew isn't old enough yet to really, I think, be learning a lot of the slang. I think I'll start learning more when he's in an actual school.
Keep it up, and we
You
can
know, not a
purge them
preschool.
from this crater once and for all.
Because then you have, like, 5th graders educating 1st graders on slang and stuff, right?
Allies.
So I'm sure that'll happen eventually. But one thing that we have successfully taught him is he uses dude like a surfer boy.
Ready and will.
None of us do it. We just, it's like, it was funny when he first
Allies are
used the
under
word
attack.
dude, I think. So then we just kind of like
Ready and will.
went with it.
I got you.
So now like everything has to end with dude.
I got you. Shoving on.
Allies are under attack.
It's pretty cute actually.
Shoving on. Left, right, left.
Back to the Future would send Marty back to the
Capture
90s.
point secured.
Oh. And there's no excuse. It's not like the decade differences are more
Allies
minimal
under attack.
between the 60s or the 50s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2020s. It's the, you know, it's an extremely different world between both sets of 30 years, but it doesn't feel right to say that.
Now you're talking. Ready and will.
I guess actually no. In comparison, the 50s to 80s tech gap is probably still more impressive, but
This is our land.
whatever.
Fighting the good fight.
Oh, I don't shoot up. That's my problem.
Allies are under attack.
Left, right,
I'm like trying to help him.
shoving on. Left, right, left. Fighting the good fight.
Dude and bro have to be banished. No, I love dude and bro.
Allies are under attack.
Ready and will.
I told my nephew
Forces are under
because he
attack.
called my mom dude, and I was like, you got to say dudette, and he was like, dude it. And I was like, no,
Allies
dudettes.
are under attack.
Left, right,
And he started doing it.
left, right, left.
He called my mom his grandma dudette.
Left, right, left.
Our forces are under attack.
I also was really close to teaching him how to the word douchebag, and then my dad told me not to. Because he like so far his insults are toilet based. You know what I mean? Like poopy head. And I no one in my family has ever enjoyed toilet humor ever,
Allies
even when they
are
were
under
younger.
attack. Invalid location.
So he was like saying some kid in his class was a poopy head. And there was the whole like, oh, you shouldn't call someone a poopy head, like it's mean.
Allies are
And
under
I was like,
attack.
call him a douchebag next time.
I got you. Left, right, left.
Unfortunately, he didn't hear me.
Highly motivated.
Construction.
Ready and will.
Construction.
I am team
complete.
dude is gender neutral. Yeah,
Capture
me too.
point Secured.
Ready and will. Fighting the good
It's one of those things where technically, okay, whatever, but connotation, I think, is far more important because it's almost always paired in a really nice way too. I mean,
Allies are under attack.
maybe at some point and maybe already,
on now.
it'll be one of those things that well-meaning people will
Allies are
say,
under
and it won't be as well-meaning. Kind of like the nice redneck meme,
Now,
you know,
night falls.
where they use the F word, but then they're like nice about gay people. You know what I mean? Like, you know that meme?
Allies are under attack.
Yeah.
Right, left.
But it's yeah. Anyone who ever says dude is almost always being chill about it.
Invalid location.
Left, right, left.
Same with guys.
Left, right, left.
You think every time someone walks into the reading room and says "What's up, guys?" I'm like,
Allies
excuse
are
you?
under attack.
I got you.
No, because that's anal and annoying.
Shoving on.
Zoomers in a toilet and poop meme. Well, they're also 10 years old. And don't correct me on that.
Complete.
I don't care what the facts say. I don't care that they're actually like in their 20s now.
Our land. Forward. This is our
That's a
Allies
lot of
under
army.
attack.
Ooh, and Malok is with them. I know people take offense at guys, but they aren't. They don't sound fun.
right now.
Allies are under attack.
Be prepared. The wretched are carving new attack routes to our base with those inflamed monstrosities.
Attack. Allies are under attack.
Bro, it's also gender neutral. It's true. It's true.
Capture point.
And there might be some really, you know, intellectual discussion from
Capture point lost.
people who are like, why are all of these like gender neutral terms considered cool, but they are masculine based, and why aren't feminine based terms used neutrally, and how this is actually still reflective of the patriarchy and all that good stuff. I'm sure someone out there is doing that. But I just have to be like I have to be honest. There we go. I don't care.
Capture point contested.
It kind of reminds me of my favorite thing I read about French feminists, where they were asked, like, don't you think it sucks that the language is gendered? And they're like, yeah, but it's really the last thing on our list to really care about.
Capture point contested. Unable to build there. Capture point secured.
You use girls for everything. I'm proud of you.
Left, right now. Left, right.
I do love that, like, a back and forth of calling each other girl kind of exists. When you're being kind of, like,
Allies are under
uplifting.
attack.
You're like, get it, girl. I'm gonna get it, girl. Like, I'll do that with some guys
Capture point
sometimes.
secured.
I do think that's fun. I should probably macro better.
Our forces are under attack.
I was kind of waiting to expand somewhere, and then I'm like, there's no place to expand. What am I even doing?
Capture point contested. Cons-
The mech bay in the
secured.
biotechnics lab looks a little similar. I have to get used to it. Wow, you're just confused.
Our forces.
Oh, also, I feel like there
Capture
have
point
been
contested.
multiple cases in both campaign and 1v1 in which I told a unit to build something, and then they actually don't.
Our forces are
And I haven't caught every single
Capture
time
point
it's happened to
secured.
say exactly why they didn't, but, you know, I had 400 minerals, I went to build an expansion, I looked back at the Bob, and the Bob's like,
construction.
you want me to do something while I was over here? Sorry.
Capture point contested.
I know people have been pointing out some pathfinding
Capture
concerns in the
point
game,
secured.
and I'm wondering if that is why.
Construction complete. Allies are under attack.
Stella's got his groove back, baby. Nice. That's a good answer.
Sun's rising. We made it another night. Time to get after those enemy hives and purge these wretched for good.
Oh, right. It's hard to go back. Yeah. Well, I don't think the pathfinding is terrible. There definitely are points where I'm like, oh, this is really annoying. Like, I'll recognize when there is a
Allies are under
campaign
attack.
mission where my hero kept getting stuck in, like, SimCity that it shouldn't have.
Capture point secured.
But
Construction.
there's one thing that I'll give a lot of credit to Stormgate for, is that it really is going to be the closest to the feeling of
Allies are
StarCraft
under
that you're going to
attack.
get. And I don't mean that as, like, it is the shining star above the rest, because I actually think that, like, Godsworn,
Allies are
Northgard,
under attack.
Zero Space, I think they all feel fine. There are some RTS games that I play, and I'm like, oh, it feels, bleh, bleh.
Allies are under
But for the
attack.
most part, they're all fine. But there is no doubt that Stormgate's the closest.
Upgrade complete. Allies are under attack.
Time for the Olympic catch-up. I was watching the Pommel Horse today. Oh my god. That has to be the hardest event, right?
Our forces are under attack.
I just tried to envision myself doing, like, a
Allies are
plank on
under
the
attack.
ground. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. Someone uses girl, it
Allies
freaks
are
them out.
under attack.
There are some real rage head guys out there, so I fortunately don't meet too many of them.
Allies are unable to build there.
StarCraft, as far as the camaraderie and general atmosphere, I think is one of the better
Allies
ones.
are under attack.
As far as like inclusivity and stuff, like there's not really a lot of initiatives,
Construction.
so that's
complete.
not great. But you know, team game reduces the amount of sexism and racism because you can mute your opponent if they even say anything.
Allies are under attack.
And then as far as the content creators that are in the scene, it's pretty much good people. So many of our assholes have already like left because there were
Allies are
greener
under
pastures or they didn't like not being liked anymore. Which means that we're missing a couple of villains, but
Allies are under attack.
and then from, you know, a really personal experience, I mean, the amount of talent teams that have dramas, you know, almost every single one of them. Maybe not almost every single one, but a lot of esport talent teams, you know, there's some drama in there, right? There's two guys that hate each other. There's a guy who might be sexist, but you're not really sure, and you don't want to like overblow it, but you're pretty sure that they're actually sexist.
Allies are under attack.
You know, there's like huge political disagreements, like someone in CS cheering on Trump, you know. And that doesn't really, that's not really the case in
Allies
StarCraft.
are under
So
attack.
it's actually quite nice.
Our forces are under attack.
I really don't want to leave the. I don't want to leave my bros hanging.
Under attack.
We're doing a good job, but I hope we win soon because I gotta leave. Apparently, I'm picking up some. I think kittens. She said
Allies
kitties,
are under
so
attack.
I think I'm getting a couple of foster kitties that I'm gonna put in the spare room that we have.
So the night falls again. Hope you're prepared.
Why would you bring politics into gaming? Well, you know,
Hungry yet?
anything with storytelling could potentially have politics because politics shapes our entire lives. But besides that, it's going to be eventual that, you know, when you're hanging out with people over 3-day, 4-day, 5-day tournaments, that you're going to eventually see something on the news. And you're going to have a discussion about it.
Allies are under attack.
Well, I think it actually does help
Allies
us that we're a
under
1v1 game. That where the hell did all my bobs go? That whoa.
Allies are under attack.
That we're a really old game, and so we have older people. I mean, I think I actually have an example of someone who was a douchebag who actually in the
Allies
5
under
years
attack.
since I like saw them being a douchebag, it actually improved.
Carving new attack routes to our
Weirdly
base
enough, I
to
have a very specific example.
Construction
There is this
complete.
guy, and I forget his name by now,
Allies under
but
attack.
he was like he hated me. Like he would always talk badly about me whenever I was brought up on like Reddit and stuff. And I checked him out once because he had a Twitch channel, and I saw that he was kind of a loser, so I felt better about myself. But then, like years later, I see him in Pig's channel, and I recognize the name still,
Capture points.
and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I fucking hate you. You're a dickhead.
Allies
And he was
under
like, wait,
attack.
really? And I said, yeah. And this was maybe like a 2 or 3 year gap between the last time I saw him being a dickhead to me. And he was like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right. I am sorry. I was really dumb when I was younger. I think you're great, actually. And, you know,
Contested.
if you don't want me to speak to you anymore, that's fine. Like, he was actually apologetic and willing to, like, avoid
Allies
me,
are
basically.
under attack.
So I was like, perhaps there is some maturity. Mayhaps there are improvements. Hello. Was it Dario? No, Teal has always been sweet. No. It was some, like, you know, they were never really a content creator. They just had a
Capture point
stream.
Contested.
Artosis provides the place for toxicity.
Allies are under attack.
Yeah.
Siege Behemoth has been
Yeah, I'm really happy that Artosis's stream hasn't bled out. Because this is what happens a lot with the other guys who have been really toxic in our community. Is that not only was the person toxic, which Artosis is toxic to a lot of people, but when you talk to him in real life, he's actually quite nice.
Capture point.
And he's not, you know, actually, like,
Capture.
mentally flawed
Capture
and
point contested.
psychotic. Which is a point in his favor. But his chat is still allowed to be
Capture point
as much of a
contested.
cesspool as it is.
Allies
And
are
so
under
usually what happens is that
Capture point
cesspool just takes a mind of its own when there's no moderation and keeping them in line. And then they
Our
go and
forces
use
are
that to
under
go to the
attack.
other streams. So it wasn't just that you didn't go
Capture
to this
point
one guy's
secured.
stream because he would hate on you and his chat would make fun of you and stuff. It's that you would be streaming yourself and then suddenly
Our
someone from this
forces
chat
are
would come
under
over
attack.
and they'd like brigade you.
Capture point lost.
And that was the worst thing about the toxic members of our community, in my opinion. Like, I could avoid a villa. I couldn't go to the events in the East
Allies
Coast because I was
under
afraid he was
attack.
going to shank me, but I could
Capture
technically
point.
avoid him. But I couldn't avoid his
point
fucking
secured.
fans.
Capture point contested.
So I was kind of scared that Artosis's chat was going to go the same direction, where suddenly you were going to get, like, you know, people upset that you said Artosis wasn't the greatest RTS commentator anymore, and then they'd come to your chat and they'd, you know, try and dox you and shit. I was kind of afraid of that.
Allies are under attack.
Fortunately, it hasn't happened.
Capture point contested.
He'll be rich from the TTS,
Allies
but
are
he'll
under-
also be super stressed.
Capture point secured.
Oh yeah, Dana and Van Peaches and Mario. Now I want to know who. I really actually don't remember the name anymore. I'm gonna be
Allies are
real.
under attack.
I was kind of petty. I kept this guy's name in my brain for a while, so whenever I saw him in ESL chat, I was like,
Allies
couldn't do
are
anything
under
about it,
attack.
but I have now successfully forgotten his name.
Allies are under
I know
attack.
there's one person on Team Liquid who really hates me. It wasn't him, but there is a person on Team Liquid who makes
while they repair those heavy-duty mechs for extra firepower.
doesn't like call me out specifically, but it's really easy to tell that he's talking about me.
Our forces are under attack.
For the most part, people are just, you know,
Only a few wretched hives remain.
don't have anything nice to say. They won't say it.
Allies
Does he have a
under
bunk bed?
attack.
I don't know. Ever been doxxed when they come to your door? Where they? Oh, I've ever had someone come up to my door and be like, "Hey, I know you from chat." No, thank God.
Allies are under attack.
I mean, there's not much you can really do to stop from having, honestly, your location eventually. Like, if someone really
Capture
wants to
point
find, right?
secured.
But any amount of friction you can
Allies
give
are under attack.
so that they can't just immediately show up on your door is good. And so I'm happy to say no one's hated me that much or loved me that much.
Allies are under attack.
Someone on the TL website. No, not I don't want an organization. No, just some shitter on TL forums. Have you ever heard talking
Allies are
Roddy
under
behind your
attack.
back? Yeah, actually.
Allies are under attack.
The wretched are finished. Didn't think you had it in you. Nice shooting, soldier.
All right, we did a co-op mission successfully. It's my first win. They made the co-op hard. But I actually have to go pick up some kittens right now. So, you know, I'll post pictures and all that good stuff. And we'll play more Stormgate later. But for now, just D&D later tonight. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the games. and the conversation. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.